Breaking. On the inauguration day of the new elected president, Donald Trump, a massive caravan has left the south border of Tapachula, Chiapas. Around 2,000 migrants from the entities of Central America and South America. They have left the south border on the essence that they are trying to make it before hours of Donald Trump being inaugurated as elected president of the United States of America.
Whoa. I mean, literally still trying to pile into the country hours before Trump was officially inaugurated, which he currently is now, which is some great news. That border will be shut down immediately. And boy, am I excited about that. But you know what else I'm excited about? I'm excited about watching these fake, yeah, I said fake, these fake news reporters, anchors, whatever you want to call them, getting absolutely owned. And I got a couple of clips of that today. The first one is an encounter between Marco Rubio and Kristen Welker. The second is a Lindsey Graham clip. Yeah, I know. Some of you are like, what? Yeah, Lindsey Graham actually owns somebody too. So with that being said, let's dive in.
Donald Trump has said he's willing to build migrant detention camps and deploy the U.S. military to deport the more than 11 million undocumented immigrants in this country. It would be the largest deportation operation in American history. Do you support that plan?
11 million. That's an outdated. That was the number 10 years ago. We're talking upwards of 20, 25, maybe 30 million.
Well,
There's been almost 10 million people that have entered this country unlawfully in the last 3 years.
To the question, would you support it?
The number varies big time. I mean, it's another 9 to 10 million people just in the last 3 years. The answer to your question is yes. We cannot absorb 25, 30 million people who entered this country illegally. They're here illegally. What country on earth would tolerate that? We don't even know who most of these people are. They talk about vetting them with what? They're coming from nations that don't even have document systems in many cases. Yes, we are going to have to do something, unfortunately. We're going to have to do something dramatic to remove people from this country that are here illegally, especially people we know nothing about. But 10 million, 11 million, that was the number 15 years ago. Today, it's upwards of probably 25 to 30 million, maybe more.
Senator, here's what you said about Donald Trump's mass deportations proposals in 2016. Take a look.
I don't think it's reasonable to say you're going to round up and deport 11 million people. I don't think it's a plan that works. I don't think that's a realistic policy.
So why have you changed your mind now?
Because the issue has completely changed. When I said that, and back in 2013, when I was involved in immigration reform, we had 11, 12 million people that had been here for longer than a decade. Now we've had almost that number in the last 3 years alone from all over the world, including people that I believe are terrorists, people that I believe are going to conduct terrorist attacks in this country if given the opportunity, certainly people that were criminals in their home country. This is a completely different, this is not immigration. You asked me about immigration. This is mass migration. Mass migration. This is an invasion of the country. And it needs to be dealt with dramatically. And by the way, I'm a big poll follower, but polls show most Americans agree with us on this.
And of course, that was an issue under former President Trump as well. There was just a bipartisan proposal that was put on the table that would put more funding into border enforcement as well as limiting asylum. Republicans walked away from that. But let me move on to my next question.
No, we can't move on because that's not what that bill did.
You see what she tried to do? And I'm happy. I'm so happy to hear him absolutely stop her dead in her tracks and be like, no. You're not going to throw that little slight there and then just move on and not allow me to address what you just said. Absolutely not. And you know what's funny about this? And this is why mainstream media is on its way out. She won't do this with a Democrat. She won't do it. Won't do it at all. When she tried to call him out and bring up old clips of him saying something different, she won't do that with Democrats. She won't throw these little slight jabs at Democrats when they say something crazy. It'll just be kiki, ha ha, move on. Oh, well, you gave your statement. You answered my question. Now let's move on to another question. She won't give this type of pushback. See, I'm not saying Republicans are above criticism. They aren't. Republicans should be criticized, absolutely. But criticize Democrats equally. The same thing that she's doing to trying to do to Marco Rubio, do that when Hakeem Jeffries comes up. Do that when Nancy Pelosi sits across from you. Do that when Chuck Schumer sits across from you and says all of his BS lines. Do that with them too. But they can't. They absolutely can't. They have Trump derangement syndrome. And I honestly believe that is a real thing. Like, that should be a real medical term at this point, because we're seeing it play out on a daily basis with these people in the media. Oh, we're fair and we're honest. No, you're not. Crap. That's a load of crap. But anyway.
Bill also created asylum officers who right on the border will be able to give people asylum. And you give someone asylum right on the border without any appeal, no judge, nothing, just an asylum officer, they are on a path to citizenship.
Okay.
That's why I oppose that bill.
Your fellow Republicans said it was the best deal that they had seen in a long, long time. But Senator,
which fellow Republican?
Senator Lindsey Graham.
Which fellow
just
Republican
to name,
said that?
Senator Lindsey Graham. Just to name
well,
one.
then I disagree with Lindsey if that's what he said. I'm not in favor of asylum officers.
Yeah. And that is why we all shake our heads with Lindsey Graham. But I will give him a little credit with this clip here that we're about to get into. Once again, obviously, as you just heard there, Lindsey Graham isn't the greatest of Republicans. As a matter of fact, he's probably bottom of the barrel. Pretty darn close, right? Somebody that I think should be voted out, personally. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I will give him credit for this with Margaret Brennan, because he absolutely drops Mike with a one-liner in this back and forth that they have. Absolutely hilarious. Check it out.
Let me ask you about the Senate, though, because you are on the Judiciary Committee. Kash Patel, the pick to run the FBI, doesn't even have a hearing scheduled yet. In his 2022 memoir, Bill Barr said of Kash Patel, he's someone with no background as an agent, who would never be able to command the respect necessary to run the day-to-day operations of the Bureau. He has virtually no experience that would qualify him to serve at the highest level of the world's preeminent law enforcement agency. The idea of moving him into a role like this showed a shocking detachment from reality. Was Attorney General Barr wrong then and wrong now?
Yeah, he was wrong then, he's wrong now. And I take my advice on Kash Patel from Trey Gowdy, dear friend from South Carolina who worked with Kash. Kash was a public defender. He was a prosecutor. He worked with Trey Gowdy about the Russia hoax. So I do think he has the experience. He has the trust of the president. And we'll see how all this plays out. But Trey Gowdy is enthusiastically supporting Kash Patel, and that means a lot to me.
Well, okay. But he's got a list he's published, Kash Patel has. He published it in a book of enemies. It includes people like the FBI director, Defense Secretary Austin, Bill Barr, former White House counsel Pat Cipollone, former CIA director Gina Haspel, the head of CENTCOM. I mean, do you take him at his word here that these are an enemies list and you're going to put him in a law enforcement role to go after him?
I believe the hearing will expose him to be a very qualified man of the law. He wrote a book. He'll have to answer questions about what's in the book. But I'm ready to vote for him because I know him too. See, you never asked me about the Russia hoax that he exposed. People on the right believe that he was part of the solution, not the problem. You asked a good question of Brett. Has Israel suffered because of this war? They went too far on the world stage. Here's what's happened on the world stage. The International Criminal Court is going to be sanctioned by the Congress, Republicans and Democrats, because they're trying to prosecute the Prime Minister and Defense
Lindsey Graham, this is a far cry
Israel.
from the question about Kash Patel. You took me all the way to Israel from Kash Patel. Are you you're committing to vote for him no matter what?
Yeah. Well,
you are going to vote for Kash Patel?
I won't say no matter what, but yes, I am ready to vote for.
You notice that too? She tried to throw in no matter what. So when he says yes, later on they'll come back and say, well, see, Republicans, no matter what. They try to throw in these slight little jabs, you know? But hey, if that's the way they want to continue on with this. And we saw in the when the case against, I believe it's CNN. I just made the video yesterday. Crap. When they got sued and the lawyer had to bring up their evaluation is dropping every single year. And I would be willing to guess that all of these basically news organizations evaluation is dropping every single year. So they continue on with this crap. Let him have it. Come on, keep on with Trump derangement. Keep on with that hate Republicans rhetoric. Go ahead. Their news organizations will cease to exist, and I will be here laughing about it the entire time. So, I mean, carry on. I don't even care anymore. I really don't. You know, for a while, I was like, you know what? This is mainstream media. We got to have a fair media. But now I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. Go ahead. Destroy yourselves. Have at it. I'm going to laugh the entire time and make videos about it. So it gives me stuff to talk about. So carry on.
For Kash Patel, because you will never ask me the role he played in exposing the darkest moment of the FBI since J. Edgar Hoover. That's why I trust him.
Okay. Ask him about going after journalists, which he's also said. I'm interested in the answer to that question.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We'll be right
Go after them. Yeah, Kash Patel. Please do. Please do.
I'm sure.
We'll be right back.
Sure Democratic friends will ask him, and you shouldn't worry about Kash Patel.
Okay.
You should worry about reporting the news fairly, which you don't do when it comes to everything Trump.
Lindsey Graham, you're a guest on this program because we wanted to hear you out. And we welcome you back,
Good.
as we
Thank
often do, anytime, to Legacy Media.
Back.
We'll be right back.
You shouldn't be worried about Kash Patel. You should be worried about telling the news fairly, which is what you don't do when it comes to Donald Trump. Oh, man. Drops the mic and walks off. I love it. We need more of it. We need more of stuff like this. When people call out mainstream media right to their face, live on air so everybody can hear it. Because everybody knows this. I just don't think there's enough people on live television that are saying it. So when people say it, I'm like, oh, even people like Lindsey Graham, who I'm not a fan of. And I'm sure most of y'all aren't fans of Lindsey Graham either. So, hey, I'll clap for him today, for that clip at least. You know, tomorrow I might be booing him, you know, giving him the thumbs down. But for today, after that clip, oh yeah. Absolutely. I love it. And I can't wait to hear more of it. I can't wait to hear Trump do this because that guy is hilarious. Fake news. Fake news. But yeah, man, hope y'all got a good laugh out of that. I know I sure did. But thanks for tuning in as always. Peace and love. I'm out.